We begin today with polls out just hours ago. This one from Emerson College showing yet again Donald Trump on top. Take a peek. April 2024 national poll. Trump 46, Biden 45. And you know what I think about that. You know, I think the number is actually far higher for Donald Trump because nobody actually wants to tell the pollster, yep, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. But they do say things like, you know what, the economy really stinks. The economy is not good. And they do say, I'm concerned about the border. And that's when you start to see that 20 or 30 point spread. So if people are overwhelmingly concerned about these issues, and indeed they are, then you really think they're going to vote for Biden? You look at his approval ratings, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there was a terrific clip. The CNN went through this one, and the numbers are just stunning. They're really stunning because what you actually find is that compare and contrast to Donald Trump at this point in the election cycle, you know what? I'm telling you, Biden is way behind. He does not have the approval rating that even Trump had. I mean, it was like neck and neck at this point before. I don't think any president outside of Carter, I mean, this is Carter 2.0, has had approval ratings like this one right now. So none of these polls should surprise you. I think people are longing for what used to be. Let's take a look. If we look at the Emerson poll, you know, it's been kind of a crisscross, zigzag. And in this hypothetical 2024 ballot test they have, if you look at that, you know, at various times you saw Trump way ahead and then it started to narrow and now he's climbing back up again. I mean, look, it's tight. It's tight. But my point is it really shouldn't be. One of the reasons it may be a little bit tight is because of that State of the Union address just the other night. Yeah, the State of the Union, he did okay on. I mean, I think we're all wondering, how? Because he can't walk up or down a flight of stairs. He gets lost in his train of thought when he's talking to reporters. This president is struggling, and yet he performed okay at the State of the Union. I mean, thank goodness he did. I mean, we didn't want to be embarrassed on the national stage any more than we already have, right? I mean, if he fell or something, that would be kind of bad, kind of like when he fell at the Air Force Academy. Well, we've all wondered about it. And now the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, he's been wondering about it so much that he went on Hugh Hewitt's show today and he said something pretty darn startling. And he said, look, if I'm going to do a debate with this guy, we got to get one thing straight. I'll let him take it away. Watch.
You said you'll debate him anywhere, anytime. Do you think he'll agree to any debates?
Anywhere, anytime.
Do you think he'll agree?
I don't think so, but I hope he does.
Do you think
what happened is, you know, that white stuff that they happened to find, which happened to be cocaine in the White House? I don't know. I think something's going on there because I watched his State of the Union, and he was all jacked up at the beginning. By the end, he was fading fast. There's something going on there. I want to debate, and I think debates with him, at least, should be drug tested. I want to
Mr. President, are you suggesting President Biden's using cocaine?
I don't know what he's using, but that was not, hey, he was higher than a kite. And by the way, it was the worst address I've ever seen, State of the Nation. I'll tell you, State of the Union, that's not State of the Union because he doesn't represent us properly. That I can tell you. But he's obviously, he's being helped some way because most of the time he looks like he's falling asleep. And all of a sudden he walked up there and did a poor job. But he was all jacked up.
Right? On what? Right? That's an interesting thing to say. It's quite an accusation. And yet when you consider the fact that this guy can't seem to actually get through an interview or get through a speech or even figure out where he is on stage and yet managed to pull through the State of the Union? Wow. I mean, are we ever going to have a debate? I don't think that Biden would ever submit to these tests. Maybe for good reason. He's never going to submit to these tests, right? So that's not going to happen. So then I guess we don't get a debate. Is that good or bad? I mean, I think it's bad for the American people because I think the American people do need to have this policy stuff focused on, front and center. So it's not good from that standpoint. I do think it could be fine from Donald Trump's standpoint. The only reason being, when I saw him debate Biden last time around, my only concern for Trump was that he was too good, right? That he was too strong. He was too with it. And he attacked Biden over and over and over again, which made some people in America feel kind of sympathetic. And Biden's like, hey, I'm just a nice guy. I'm just your, grandfather or your uncle or, the guy who's in the institution for Alzheimer's. I don't know. Go with whatever you want. But he seems almost helpless compared to Donald Trump. And I know that when Donald Trump was up against Hillary Clinton and those debates were coming, he was actually very careful. And some of the people around him were like, hey, be super careful because she's a woman, she's a mother, she's a grandmother. Don't go so much for the jugular. I mean, he did, but he did it kind of in a charming way. And then I think when he came to debating Joe Biden, it was like the gloves are off. I don't have to be chivalrous with you in any way, shape, or form. You're just another guy. And he went in. And so my only sort of preference would be if he were to debate Joe Biden, that he do so in a charming, sort of funny, self-deprecating. I mean, he's so good at this. He's so good at this. And then come in with the zingers, one after another. Boom, boom, boom. But if he's not able to debate him, maybe that's okay too.